Welcome back to StoneBlock, and you can see in here I've started to do some tidying up. I've moved the cloches away from these pads and moved them into the wall. I'll explain those in a second because I've done some routing with Ender.io conduits. First thing I wanted to show you, I've got more bag openers. These are just with Ender.io conduits to the back, basically extracting on green and inserting on brown, and then all these insert on green and extract on brown. So basically this one is round robining the bags into all the bag openers, so they all open in parallel. And you can see here we've got our first nether star. Yep, we want to use that the most effective way possible, but we do get a quest complete for it, so hey, may as well put it in our system. Over here, yes, let's go and talk about these cloches for a second. It's all hidden now, but I've moved everything into a more Ender.io way of doing things. What we've got is each of the conduits at the back are extracting generally on green as a default, and that means anything on green goes straight into the ender chest. However, these first three are extracting on a different color. They're going into the back of here, and then not going anywhere else at the moment. This one is extracting on red, which is going into this compressor. Redstone essence is getting compressed and then extracting on green, and green goes back into the ender chest. So we've got essentially redstone seeds, and they just need crafting seeds to work. So I'm not sure if I showed this last episode about crafting seeds. You basically craft them just like everything else on the mystical agriculture, and you go up through the tiers and you get to tier 3 or so. And once you get to here, you can branch across to make redstone redstone seeds. I don't get the wrong one. There is a redstone alloy seed as well, and that won't help you that much. But yeah, 4 redstone and the essences and the tier 3 crafting seeds get you this, but it will give you essence, not redstone directly. So you will need a compressor in the way that will take it and produce redstone for us, and that will go straight into our system. So if you have a look in here, our system now has a healthy supply of redstone, and we can put all this stuff away. I've started building more machines over here. I moved the furnace in, and I thought, well, I'm still not happy with this. It's still not doing things the way I want it to. So I'm going to switch to using Ender.io, and that's much easier for me to configure. And to do that, I need I want Ender.io fluid conduit. And there's a few types, of which the best is Ender fluid conduit. Okay, so that's pretty cool to use, and we wouldn't need the water tank if we did that, I think. So here's the recipe for that. The main problem with this recipe is twofold: the vibrant alloy, which is one thing, and the fused quartz, which is the other. Now, if you remember last episode, I said that fused quartz comes from an alloy smelter. It does. And vibrant alloy ingots will also go from an alloy smelter, I think. Yeah. They need ender pearls and enginetic alloy, so that is doable, except that we need to make an alloy smelter. And here's the problem. When I last played Ender.io, it was in 1.7 or 1.10, and in those versions, it was actually pretty straightforward. We just make an alloy smelter. This does look straightforward, except for the fact we've got industrial machine chassis, and this is not the recipe I remember. And you can make it in an alloy smelter, but that's a bit of a circular argument. So we can make it in an induction smelter. Yeah, that's going to be a problem, because we can make these. This is just iron and grains of infinity and iron bars. But this industrial dye blend, well, that needs a certain bits and pieces of dye. And those dyes need to be made in an alloy smelter. Excuse me. So we need an alloy smelter to make an alloy smelter. The good part about this is you need, or you can use a simple alloy smelter. And that only requires this first machine that we can make, which is what I've done. And the same thing with a simple sag mill. So these do look a little bit different to the sort of machines I'm used to, but there is now 3 tiers of machines. So that's good. I've got some lapis there. We've got some pulverized coal. Good, good. And we're also going to want some cactus green. Now, I think I put that into the furnace. I did. So we've got some cactus green. And that means we've got, I think, the ingredients that I wanted. Fluid. That's why I was growing cactus in the previous episode, if you saw that. So then, let's get into what is it we actually need first. We want the alloy smelter, don't we? Not the fluid conduit. And more importantly, we need this industrial dye blend. Okay, so we don't have everything yet. Industrial dye blend. Dye. There we go. And we can combine this in an alloy smelter. So we want cactus green, we want slime balls, and we want coal. Okay. So I've just dumped that in. Cactus. Coal. And slime balls. I've got a few in the system. Let's just use some of these. Hopefully that will work. And put it in the simple alloy smelter. Yep, that's started cooking up. And then we also want the dye blend. We want the coal in the center. That's black dye, isn't it? So industrial dye blend. Alloy smelter, that is just slime and coal. Okay, so we can just take out maybe this. And it's going to go through. And now it should change over. And now we should get the black stuff. Hopefully. Yep. Okay, cool. And that means we can fill out the recipe like this. Get some industrial dye blend. Let's get 2 lots of it. And now we want the industrial... Is it industrial? Industrial machine chassis is just a dye blend and simple machine chassis in an alloy smelter of some kind. Now, do I have some of those simple machine chassis? I thought I'd made some. Maybe not. We're going to need some iron bars. Let's make a few of those. And I'm not running out of iron. I just need iron blocks. Yeah. So, industrial. Let's make 6. Yeah, let's make 6. Put these in the alloy smelter. And that's started up. Okay, so that should give us the core of what we need for the next tier of alloy smelter. And to get to a decent tier, that is. And there is a third tier as well, the enhanced. That requires some end steel and some vibrant bimetal gears on top. Let's leave it at the regular one for now. We need dark bimetal gears. Can we create those? Yes, we can, with dark steel nuggets. And then the other thing we need is that industrial metal chassis, or whatever it's called. Yeah, machine chassis. Fine, so we get the alloy smelter back. And now I'm just going to take this stuff out, wait for that to finish. And we can get rid of you, hopefully. There we go. Alright, so we can now put our new Enderios? Part of a balanced breakfast, not actually healthy. Contains 253 grams of sugar, 50 grams of fat, and 394 grams of ender dust. Side effects of ender dust include nausea, dizziness, confusion, and random teleporting. Not sure I want to eat that. I really don't. There we go. That's back to our usual alloy smelter. And it's saying, you should really use a capacitor. It needs it to work. Okay. Fine. Capacitor. Do we have any spare? Is that... Will that actually work if I use a shocking contraption? Yeah, seems like it will. Okay. Saves me doing anything else. That just comes out of a loot bags, I think, or something along those lines. But if you didn't want to do that, you can make the capacitor itself, which is just copper, gold, and grades of infinity. There's nothing, nothing worth worrying about in there. So then we need to get the nice top tier of stuff. So we want in ingots. I want the energetic alloy, and I want some ender pearls. Okay, I just want 6 of them. There we go. And we'll put this into there. And they should make up the top tier of ingots from Ender.io, which we can then combine, finally, into some nice fluid conduit. So we're going to need some fused quartz, Fused quartz can be made in an alloy smelter, and we're going to need some more conduit binder. Conduit binder is going to need, what was that again? Conduit binder, sand and clay. Just needs gravel. Okay. Plenty of gravel from these machines. So let's just make a stack, and we can put this in a furnace of any kind. You will do for now. And we're done, I think. Oh, I actually need some nether quartz. I need to, yeah, I need to cook that up. So nether quartz. You see we've got 4,500 of it. It's the highest thing in our system. That's because I put the chicken sort of collecting block. I put a hopper and an ender chest underneath that feeds into our system. So it's constantly feeding back over here. Lots and lots and lots of nether quartz. So that's gonna fill up our system in no time. Yeah, so that's probably already using 2 slots. Yeah, we've got 2 green ones left. We're probably going to need to expand that. Anyway, just wait for this to finish, and then we'll get our ender fluid conduit up and running. Alright, so this stuff is pretty great. I'm just going to use up all of the ingredients in the center. And we get more achievements. Let's just get rid of all of this stuff. Much prefer the ender conduit stuff, mainly because it occupies 1 block space when we want to. I can get rid of you, because we're going to be able to deal with that separately. I'm going to get rid of you. There we go. And we could sort of just pull stuff in and out of the tops of the barrels if we wanted to. So I wonder if I can maybe put the sink in the middle. Get rid of you for a second. And then we'll just put our conduits in. So fluid conduits there. I'm going to say I want nothing to insert. I want to extract on blue for water. Round robin is enabled. I guess we can disable it if we wanted to. Shouldn't much matter. Oh, is that... in fact, no. Let me set it to never active at the start. It shouldn't matter, actually, because these are actually not full of water, so we're fine. We don't need to worry about the filters, I don't think. And let's just give this a go. So we're just going to attach all of these. Okay. And then on top here, I'm just going to put in our drum. There we go. And the only thing, this is going to come out on blue, so it's going to insert these on blue. So we want to set insert to blue on each of these. We'll allow that. Okay. And then extract on green and insert on green. So we don't need to extract from you at all. And we do want to extract from all of you. So let's set that to always active. Always active. Same thing again, and same thing again. Okay, so that should now, hopefully, work completely automatically. We don't have to worry about anything else. It looks a lot nicer, and it's Ender IO. Yeah, so I like that a lot. We could use Ender IO for water here as well now that we've got it, but because this is all immersive engineering, I just kept it with this fluid pipe. It works perfectly well. And we can expand our cloches as much as we want to. Okay, and if we want to carry on using cloches to get other resources like blaze powder and compress that into blaze rods, then we're going to need to use Mystical Agriculture's other system to get this kind of thing going. So first of all, we're going to need to make some soul stone. This is just soul sand and stone, as you might imagine. I'll make a couple of that. We're going to be making the solium dagger. And to get to that requires us to make a couple of ingots. And the ingots come from solium dust, which comes from soul dust, which is from that soul stone. So if we just get the soul stone itself again, let's get all of that. And do, oh, cobble soul stone. Oh, interesting. I don't know where I got that from. Can that actually be cooked up? Let's give it a go. It can. So if you picked something cobble soul stone, I think I must have picked it up in the nether somewhere. In any case, we should be able to crush it down. I've upgraded the sag mill to do the same thing. That should get us the dust we need. We're going to have to combine that with some of the green Prudentium essence here. And what we can just do is... Well, in fact, hang on, that should be enough, I think. Let's grab some view, some soul dust. And is it something like this? Yep, so that's sodium dust. That's one of. I'm going to need a couple more of those essences. But we can put it back through here to presumably making this into an ingot. Yep, that gets us our first one. I just need a couple more of that, the green essences. You'll do. And then the rest of the sag mill stuff. Great. So one. Where is it? There it is. Should get us our second ingot. And where's the rest of the Solium dagger? Solium dagger. What's the... is it just a stick? Mystical stick. Must be a normal stick. It's a normal stick with just prosperity shards. Okay. Mystical stick. Yeah, we have prosperity shards. Fair enough. Why aren't you coming up? There you are. Okay, and is it just it's this shape, I think. Solium dagger. Now we can enchant that, and that requires me doing some enchanting work, which I've not done in this pack yet. We obviously do the usual enchantment table. Do we have anything that we have the ability to control? The Cyclic Enchanter. Will that let me control things? Well, why don't we craft one? Too large. Whoops. Do it through here. Enchantment. Let's make a regular table, and let's try a cyclic one, and let's see what they do. There are other things as well, I guess. Ender bookshelf. 4 drawers of deep enchantment storage. Okay. And I guess we may have to make bookshelves. It depends on what this particular one does. Add enchantments using experience fluid and energy. Now, experience fluid we have. Do I have any fluid conduit? I do have some fluid conduit left. And energy. I may have to get some flux, a flux point of some kind. Just because I'm running out of the. Ooh. Let's get a few blocks. There we go. Okay. And our experience fluid we have over here in a mob farm. You can see it's in that barrel. Yep. So maybe we can pull out of the bottom of that. Something along those lines. And where's our enchantment table? Maybe if we put it right here, that should be okay. So let's get our ender conduit. And we probably want is our flux point as well. So why don't we just dig down one for that? Put our flux point in. And select our network. It won't connect to anything because we don't exactly have energy conduit. There we do. Now we do. And I haven't run out of stone to replace that with, but if we just put down our enchantment table, we'll see whether it actually needs any sort of... Oops, I need to set this to... Move. I need to get to that plate right there. You're going to annoy me. There we go. Extract. Pause active. Nope. You should be always inserting. And you should have access to energy. Yep, you're on. You don't seem to want to do anything. Maybe I have to put something in? Nope. Okay, I'm going to research what Cyclic Enchanter does and see if there's any better enchanter blocks. Do we have any more nether? Oh, no, not yet. We actually need 4 nether stars to be able to reproduce nether stars. There's plenty of stuff we can make, just nothing that will get me more nether stars that I found anyway. If you know different, put it in the comments. So we'll see whether more nether stars appear. In any case, I'm just going to look at enchantment possibilities, and then we'll look at, well, using that dagger to get some mob chunks, some way without actually hurting any mobs whatsoever. No hurting involved. No. Okay, so I moved the drum so it was easier to actually experiment with, and it is actually working fine. It just only takes books, it seems, and gives you various books back. So I've got Enchanted Book, Power 4. That's more for bows, and then I guess we can feed books in, and it will convert them over. So Efficiency 3, no. Aqua Affinity, Protection 4. Experience Boost 3. So we're going to get a lot of enchants this way, but not necessarily a directed actual specific enchant. So instead we have the Ender IO Enchanter, which is possible, and let's just get a book and quill, hopefully. In fact, let me just recycle that bookshelf. There we go, get some books back. So book and quill. And we have enough for that. Good. We're going to need some lapis. And we don't need many of it. Only 3, I think. And we're going to need some just wither skeleton skulls or something like that. Okay, it's probably also going to need a us to have XP. I've only got 21 levels at the moment. Is there a shower block? I think there is. An XP shower. Yes. Let's make one of those. Assuming this works. And over here you see I've got everything set up, or at least I started getting everything set up here. I'm actually going to move it because this isn't the ideal location for what we actually need to do. So here's the end, the enchanter. I'm probably going to put that somewhere with actual power. Let's put it at the back corner over here. There we go. All right, and we need both of those and the book and quill, and presumably 27 levels of XP. Now, does that take liquid XP? If it does, then we're in luck. But if it doesn't, then we have to design some way of having a shower set up. So if we want that there, the drum here, or we'll have to put it into a tank. Can I actually just put that directly attached to this? I can never remember. Is it just redstone we need for that? We'll come back to that in a second. And then we'll just route cable, or the conduit, down here. Like that. Doesn't seem to want to connect on supply liquid. No, unfortunately. Okay, fine. Then we'll just sort that manually, and we just need. Does it even need power at all? Doesn't look like it does. At least it doesn't have a gauge. So why don't we just leave it alone for now then? And do you require redstone to get use of working? Let's just grab a lever and see if that's the case. Yep. That works. So we want 27, presumably. Looting 3. Let's take a look. Looting 3. Says 27 levels. Plus these things gets us an enchanted book with looting 3. Okay. And does it require actual book to do that? Doesn't do anything else, so presumably I'm going to need an actual book. Hopefully it doesn't convert the book and quill. Nope. Okay, how do you actually provide this then? Looting 3. That and these gets us this. Skeleton skull with skeleton skull. Oh, does it need 9 lapis? Was I off? I could have been thinking about the previous tiers of recipes. Let's have a look. There we go. Enchantment cost 27. We've got that, and then we can apply that with an anvil, I would assume. We've got our repair anvil. Will you count as a generic anvil as well? Let's just go and take a look. Okay, that's our infusion crystal. That's a powered diamond anvil. That doesn't look like it'll do the job, so let's actually go and make a regular anvil. And apply this directly, unless we can actually just apply it this way? No. Looks like it needs an anvil. Straightforward, of course. Nothing complicated there. Anvil. And we'll just put it down on this side. So, this plus this. Enchantment cost is 6, so why don't we just get another few levels. That'll do. 1, 2. Solim Dagger with looting 3. Hi. Now, it's nowhere near as good as my regular... my regular equipment. However, it should get more of whatever this dagger provides, assuming that I'm around to do it and don't die. Okay, so we're getting a few things, but nothing like the actual item that I want to see drop, which is a mob chunk. Now, the other way of doing things is to think about creating a mob farm, or you reusing your mob farm with the mechanical player, I want to say. I thought I already have it. Is it my backpack? It is. There it is. Mechanical user. So this can, just like if you're used to Endrios, like Hungry Joe, is it? Something like that. Basically the mob. Basically the mob farm that can kill things. You can replace this grinding module in here with your mechanical user and this dagger. Here it is. However, it is got a durability on it, and we don't have any way to auto repair it yet. Okay, so I came up here to our mob farm, and the first thing I did was kill just the little mini zombies, and we got a zombie chunk out of there, and that's the one thing I'm actually looking for. However, if we want to do this in a more sustainable way, if we just put our mechanical user down where the mob masher was, and then we can put our dagger in here and say we want to, well, we want to left click really, don't we? I don't think there's anything, generic click, activate block with item, use item, left click, upper left slot only. And then what it should be doing is, yeah, unless it needs power, of course, that's not always a possibility, is it will try and kill things with that dagger. We can put speed upgrades in it, which is possible, but we'll see if that actually works without any changes. So let's just put some blocks back. I'll turn the farm back on, and if that doesn't work, it's no problem. We can always revert back and do it that way. Any more nether stars? No more nether stars. So we need to then cook this up. So if we just look at the uses of this, we can make zombie seeds. But if we put it through a furnace, it'll go into a tier 1 mob chunk. We can combine that with some other Prudentium essence into tier 2 mob chunk, tier 3 mob chunk, tier 4, etc., etc. And we can turn that into a blaze chunk once we get to tier 4, which we can then use, once we get 4 of them, to make blaze seeds with tier 4 crafting seeds. So I'm going to need to turn this farm back on, and I really should hook all this back up with this. With the same redstone signal. I've never got around to it, but it's straightforward when you can fly, and we'll see whether that actually works. It may need a little bit of tweaking to make that that setting work for that mechanical user block. And it sort of works okay in the automatic mob farm, as long as you set the mechanical user to entity mode. And I did say Hungry Joe earlier. I meant Killer Joe, sorry, if I did say Hungry Joe. But it seems to be just as much, or just as straightforward to come out here into the nether and come and grab a few shards from zombie pigmen. And we'll head back over to our base and see whether that's enough. I think it is. Yeah. So, yeah, I've got 4. And I already had 1 anyway, so we've got enough, I think. Let's just put some of this other stuff away. Experience chunks you can make experience seeds with. I'm not going to worry too much about those because we're getting as a byproduct of the farm anyway. And you are going to go away. I do not need you, nor do I need a lapis lazuli sword. And we can put that upgrade back away again. I've reverted this to using the mob masher as normal. Okay, so with that in mind, we're going to take these zombie chunks, we're going to drop them into the furnace, and they'll give us the generic chunks back. Let's just get rid of that. These boots as well, don't need that. Just 3 of them, there we go. And then we're going to go through a process of upgrading them. So we're going to upgrade all of those to tier 2, all of those to tier 3, and we can have some spares there. And then all of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to tier 4, which means we'll have tier 4 mob chunks. That means then we need to get some blaze rods. Yeah, let's just get some of those. And blaze seeds then, what do they take to make? Blaze seeds are tier 4 crafting seeds, which we're going to have to get. And 4 blaze chunks, so we can make 4 blaze chunks. That's 1. There we go. So then we have everything apart from the seeds. So do we have that crafting seed already in here? Crafting seed? Yes, we do. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 blaze chunks. And we get blaze seeds. Which means, do I have a spare cloche? In fact, let me just set it up on, let me set up on here. What do these actually produce? Do they produce the powder? Blaze seeds. It doesn't say. Let's actually just set them up, and I'm just going to need to dig back here for a second. I'm going to access that panel and to stop it actually extracting. We're just going to swap it over for nether wart. So let's take the soul sand out. I'm going to put the blaze seeds in. Do you want to actually run on soul sand, or do you need actual dirt? You probably will need actual dirt, which reminds me of something else, and I'll show that in a second. The bonsai pots, in the later update, they require slimy dirt to actually run on. So I've just changed them over to the right color slimy dirt. They're running just fine again. They will work on dirt if they were already placed, but if they weren't already placed before the update came out, then you'll have problems. And let's get you going. Now you're running. Yes. Okay, so let's get the friend of farming here. Just shift right click and let's see what it actually produces. Blaze essence. Okay, so blaze essence I presume will be compactable. Blaze essence. To blaze rods, but it's a crafting recipe, not anything else. Okay, I guess, because we can do that somewhere else. I think we can do that with our existing infrastructure here. If I just grab this for a second. What channel is this? It's brown going in, and then we want green going out, always active. And because all these are set to internal only, they won't ever eject. However, this one will. So if we just bring this in here for a second, come back over to the back. Oh no, I've set it to not extract, haven't I? You can manipulate this with a Yeta wrench, but I never remember how. So it's often easier just to actually just replace it once it's disconnected. There we go. So we want to extract on brown, always active, and we don't need to insert. So you've extracted, and we should be getting them in here now. Yes, we have. So then we want a new recipe. And then we just want to grab these and just say, there we go. Anything that comes in, it converts them back into blaze rods. We have some spare slots here as well. And if I just change these around, press remember, then everything should stay in these slots and look quite nice. Okay, so we're getting automatic blaze rods now out of our system, which is pretty cool, I think, to get that going. I don't need to worry about compacting the blaze powder that we get by other means. I can just grab some whenever I need to. And I need some stone right now just to fill the walls back in, and we should be done for the episode, I think. If you want to give any suggestions of the things you've seen this episode, feel free to put them in the comments below. Otherwise, of course, I'll carry on next episode with some more stuff, probably trying to get us to nether stars or something along those lines. We can just wait, of course, and that will get us the nether star seeds, which I can start farming, and you can hear the mob farm is back up and running as normal again. We're getting us all the usual kind of stuff that we're used to. I could also speed that up with a drop of evil, or whatever it's called, or a tier of evil, something along those lines. That'll just basically make a Custuff spawner, but it will be really, really rapid. And we aren't doing much with the loot bags right now. The other thing we could do at some point, I think I may well fill one of these walls out, is take the loot bags from here, this bag storage. What I was doing a little bit earlier on today was just getting a few bits of materials out of there, but we could set up bag openers like this to take all of the loot bags and start creating a system that stores their output. And there's a lot of individual bits and pieces that we don't want to put into our main system. We just want to get rid of them, and I think I'm going to need to use XNet for that kind of thing. It's quite handy. It's more capable than Endry.io even for doing that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that'd be quite cool. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you next episode for some more StoneBlock. And indeed, thanks for watching. As always, see you next time.